Good morning, guys. So anyone here who is not
Good
attending
morning.
last session? So can you please share your details, your name, your phone number, your email address in the chat box, or whoever is not received the last session recording, the course content, please forward your details. So we'll start the class. Today is the second demo. Practically, I'll see whatever we discussed in the last class. So this is basic, the BI end-to-end process we discussed in the last class. So we'll do this as a practical in the Azure cloud. Okay. So just try to understand this picture and I'll take you to practical today. Okay. So meantime, whoever is not shared details, kindly please provide your details. I'll share today's and yesterday's recording to your email address. Okay. So let's wait for another few minutes. If any questions, doubts are there, you can ask me meantime. So this is an overview picture which we discussed in the last class, how the BI works in real time. What is your role in the business intelligence, in the data analyst, a BI developer, ETL developer, report developer, whatever the position you go for that, there you need to understand the end-to-end BA process. Wherever the business starts, as data required to take a decision, we have to go through this all the steps. If you see this picture, like more involvement of ETL development than the reporting development. Where is the reporting development at last? From the source to target, more involvement is more development, more work under this ETL data factory in SSIS model. So for that, you need to understand the basic storages. What is blob storage? What is data lake storage? What is data warehouse storage? What is Azure SQL database? What is a managed instance? What is a file system? So these basic storages we will be covering in our regular class. From there, whatever the source they use in your company, we will be creating data pipeline for that. Okay, we will be creating data pipeline to extract the data, whatever the format is there in your source, whether it is a CSV format, TXT, semi-structured, JSON, XML, Parquet, cloud storages, database storages, anything, API REST, URL, application. So in Data Factory, there are a lot of sources that we have. Even we didn't know the technology, those many storages that we have under the Data Factory. That is what the more advantage, more connectivity than on-premises we have in cloud. You no need to install anything. You just require 3 things with you to start with the cloud. The one which we are discussing is a public cloud. So yesterday I told you these all are like public clouds, Amazon, Flipkart, Google, GCP, IBM, these all are public clouds. There is no restriction. Anyone can go and can access this cloud. So you're storing all your data in the cloud. It doesn't mean that you will be storing in the cloud. There is no cloud. There is also a backend, a physical data center who is working on behalf of you. Example, you order some Flipkart or Amazon products. You are not directly interacting with that store. By selecting the product, you are ordering it. And you will get that product by doing all this payment and all. The same way you are acting like a virtually. In this public cloud also, you are acting like a virtually. You are ordering some services in terms of softwares. Here also, you are ordering some sort of services. That some sort of services may be anything, the storages, the ETL tools, the database, anything, some sort of services you are ordering as a virtually through Azure Cloud portal. And then on behalf of you, whatever your data storing, that backend is stored in data center. I don't know if people are heard about this Gmail account. We store the data in drives, Google Drives. We store photos, images, documents, and max to max per Gmail account, they will give you Google 15 GB, not more than that. 15 GB a space they're going to give you in Google Drive, but you are storing in the drive, acting like a virtually, but back end, there is a data center is working on behalf of you with your Gmail account. The same way, Azure is also same like a virtual portal where you will visit to that portal. You can order whatever the services you required. To ordering some products in Amazon, Flipkart, we have to pay. To order some sort of products, electronic gadgets, clothing, whatever, you have to pay for that. You require first your Gmail account, either the phone number, the address, your personal details. Then you can create your account in the different shopping portals, whether it's a Flipkart, Amazon, other portals. Then only it will allow you to order something, the products. The same way in Azure or any cloud, we required the account to be created. So we required account to be created under azure.com. So as I told you, to start with this, we required three things. One is Azure account. Other one is internet. Other one is system. If you have these three things, you can start with Azure. So Azure account, I told you, you even whatever the platform you go, you need to create. Whatever the platform you go, you have to create your account. The account may be whatever the product you purchase, you have to pay for that product. So Microsoft is giving you almost 200 US dollar for free account. Microsoft giving you 200 USD dollars. So around almost in Indian currency, it is around 16 to 17,000 INR for a free account. So they are doing some sort of promotion. They are giving you some sort of amount from where you can purchase a product. If you go Flipkart, Amazon, what you do, you without having money, without having The wallet, you cannot purchase any sort of products. You require some money with you, then only you can purchase, you can order something. Here also, the same thing, when you log into the azure.com or azure.portal.com, you have to pay something when you want to order some sort of services. If you want to order ETL, you have to pay something. You want to order storages, you have to pay something. And the next is like how much you are storing. Based on that, it will charge. Same like your subscription that you use for your Google and your Netflix. Every month, what we do, how much we going to use, we have to pay, or there will be unlimited subscription or limited subscription. Same way in Azure also, we have some sort of subscription. The subscription may be a free subscription, student subscription, or pay as you go subscription. How much you are using, you have to pay. There's three type of subscription we have. So this three type of subscription, we are using it. Free subscription, Microsoft giving you to elaborate the cloud, and that will be only for 1 month. So they are doing one sort of experiment, you can say, one sort of client can in a like promotion, you can say. So the customer will come and see what is the new things are there or what is the advantages are there. So with 200 USD dollar, they can do some sort of basic projects, a practice for us. And some credentials are required. What credentials are required? I'm going to tell you in regular class. Even student account also you can create, which is going to give you 100 USD dollars, and pay as you go. You have to pay from the pocket. Okay, so no physical involvement. You don't require any software to install. You're going to develop under one portal called portal.azure.com. This is a place where you are going to do entire development, end-to-end development. So we're going to work under this. So same picture I have shown you in the last class. Either you can consider this one, or if you go technically, you can consider this one. There are sources. This is your application, online or offline, whatever. Yesterday I've given one of the example called DMart or stores, supply chain or supermarket. That application writes the data in one of the storage. The application data writes the data in the blob storage. This is what I explained in the last class. The application data, the moment customer purchase products, they will write the data in the storage. This all storage we are going to cover. But see, one of the example, right now I'm using this is the one cloud, Azure Blob Storage, Azure Storage account. Because we are working under Azure, so I'm taking Azure Storage account. So your application, whatever the web application is there, that is not my headache. They will have connectivity, whatever the user interact with this web application, Flipkart, Amazon, whatever they interact with that, they will go to this web application. Whatever the information they enter, they will come and they will place under the storage account. This is your live storage account or whatever. So it is not, I'm asking to take this one. In your company, they may use data lake. In your company, they may use database. In your company, they use other storages. Depend on company to company and their budgets. But right now, we'll see the practical one of the storage account. Okay. And what is our work once you have data? Now our work will start. We'll extract this data. We'll extract this data by using a beautiful tool called Data Factory. If you know this tool, most of the requirement on this tool only. Your Azure jobs mostly on Data Factory. You can go and search, then plan for the classes. Your most of the jobs on SSIS and Data Factory. So on premises also, they want to move some data. Your application is also writing the data in on premises. Some application they're writing in on premises. If your manager asks you to get the data from on premises, you have to be ready for that. So you need to develop one gateway, because cloud is different, on premises is different. Cloud is different, on premises is different. You have to make a connection between on premises and the cloud. That is nothing but a gateway. Gateway, okay? So that we call gateway to interact with the cloud and on-premise. What is gateway, how to install, how to configure, this all we're going to discuss in regular class. Don't worry. So non-technical people may think, so this is what we have a regular terminology. Whatever the BA process you, this is basic things we need to understand. From there, we extract the data by using a pipeline, data pipeline, and we load the data. And in case you want to clean some data, transform the data, apply some logic, some sort of restriction you want to do, because some country data you don't want, some country data we want to allow, and in that also I need to apply some conditions. You can do some, those comes under the transformation. Whatever the modifications you're doing, that comes under the transformation area. And then finally we are loading the data in the database. Why database? Anyone know why database? Why we are loading the data in the database? Anyone have any idea on why, sir, why you are loading the data in the database? Because I am showing the picture. Because of you storing the database, why you are can't store again this in the blob storage here also? Why only database?
So it is
What
a
is the
summarized
reason?
summarized data, right?
Summarize the data.
So we apply the logics and convert into data into target, right? Like as a warehouse, we need to store the for the purpose of analysis, and we will load the historical as well as we need to maintain all the previous years.
Previous records, historical data. Okay. So one thing I want to ask here is, let's suppose this is the data which is coming from source. Can't we do analysis with this data? Why we
It's,
require to store in the database?
it is difficult to understand, right? So we need to do some. What
Oh,
is the
let's example, your manager asks you country wise, how many revenues are there, country wise salaries, and the employees IDs, counts of employees. Can't we do with this file?
so do we can do SQL queries we can do.
Why SQL only? I'll do. I'm a good expertise. I'm non-technical background, BPO background. I know the Excel. I'll do in Excel.
Yes.
Why require database? I'll put it this data in Excel. Whatever the requirement my manager is required, I'll simply go to this Excel. I'll do that. Let me show you.
Yes, we can copy into that, and then we can do count and total sum like that.
We can do that as well in the Excel. See, I'll put this data. I'll put a pivot data. So here I'll put my data in the delimiter format, comma,
So it will
and this
goes to as
data.
a manual arc, right? So in that we are doing in a
This is a
type of manual, right? We are doing like this.
type of manual. Okay, that is one of the point. Any other point?
So it is also time consumption, less time consumption.
time consumption, manual efforts. See, here I did it. Summary data. No, you want, sir, I want graph also. You cannot do. I'll do that as well. You want graph? What sort of graph you want? Tell me, I'll do this. 2D, 3D. Let's put a 2D. See the data. You don't require Power BI developer here. Whatever Power BI developer they do, I'll do here.
But
49%.
if you use Excel, you will not have, like, for suppose if you have any changes in your data, it wouldn't update. You have to take the Excel again, you have to take the data input again, and
No,
then you have to do it.
not
But
at all.
in
Not,
database,
not at all. I'll connect with my database. You want me to connect with my database? You want me to connect here? So I'll refresh here. There is an option called get the data. From where you want to get the data? Every day I'll refresh. You want to get from the blob storage? I'll get from blob storage. You want to get from Azure storage? I'll get Azure storage.
I think Excel will not support for huge data. Everyday transactions will increase day by day. So if we do it in Excel, it will become slow, and data integrity also one thing. We can edit easily in Excel, not directly from the database.
Huge data.
Yes.
Automations, correct. So every day we get transactions on different counts. And Excel also max to max support 10 lakhs. If you put pivot also 5 lakhs, it completely will go. And yes, this is a manual effort. This is a manual effort, and every day, in case you get different files, again you have to come to Excel, you have to paste, you have to do manually, completely. And moreover, still I can manage with a manual, but the problem here is there is a huge volume of data, and data is coming from the different sources. And it is difficult to do everyday manual work. The whole day will waste for just doing some basic sort of data. The same kind of operation, same kind of report, I will simply develop in 1 hour of time. I'll do the automation process here. Only just 1 hour of time, I will automate this process. Whatever the data count it is, a millions, billions, trillions, whatever the count it is, my database have capability to hold that much of data, and I'll apply simple query language. Or even I don't have query also, I'll simply connect my report and I'll show the data and I'll do the automation. This is what a business intelligence work, a BA process work. So this sort of work, we are reducing them to get fast data analysis, taking a business decisions, making them automation process. So same sort of work, I'll go to the, even I don't need to install anything. I'll just go to the portal. If I'll talk about on-premises also, I can do the on-premises setup also. Going further, we'll discuss in regular class how to do in on-premises. Without having a groundwork, you cannot go directly to the cloud. So if you have experience 5 years, 6 years, definitely they'll ask you why can't you develop this same thing in on-premises? Why we require cloud? So we have to be ready with that answer. So first I'll explain in on-premises, then we'll move to the cloud. For right now, I'll just go to the cloud. Okay, in regular class, we'll do this in on-premises also. So to log in the Azure, you can first require to create the account. So same sort of process I'm going to do. Same sort of process I'm going to do automation. Is my subscription is working? So you can see here, start with Azure. So there are other services, AI applications, other applications. You have a lot of things you can see here. Start with Azure. So this is basic overview about Azure, how it works, what is a portal. And when you log in with start with Azure, there are two modules you have. One is free account, one is pay account. This is a try for free, which Microsoft giving you 200 USD dollars. You cannot withdraw that amount. It is with your wallet, Azure wallet only. Okay, you cannot withdraw to any platform. Okay, so pay as you go is something you have to pay from your pocket. How much you are storing, how much you are using, you have to pay from pocket. So these are the sort of services they are giving you for free. And it will be some services which is 12 months. Services, I'm talking about here services, nothing but kind of software or platform services. Your SQL Server, your data factory, these are the services we call. Okay, some are always free, some are free, some are 30 days. After 30 days, your credit will drop. Okay, so already I have a premium account. I have a premium account. I'll just go portal.azure.com. This is a place where I'm going to do my sort of development. So this is a place I'm going to do whatever the data is there. I will work my development and I'll make a schedule. It may take 1 hour, it may take 1 day, it may take 2 days, 3 days, whatever. It is just one-time development, and every day we get whatever the sort of data on daily basis. We can easily do the automation process. Okay, so let's see how to develop here. So first thing is what we required. So let it be application. We directly create the storage account. We'll upload some files. So let's go and create the blob storage. So don't worry, I'll go through overview about this portal. For right now, I'm just showing how we can develop in easy way in cloud. In regular class, we're going to discuss all these options. And first we'll understand what is resource group resources. Then we will jump to the one by one topic. For time being, I'm showing you how we can analyze this data instead of doing manual work, how we can do the automation process. Very simple method. So I am creating here what you required. You required storage account, one service, data factory is one more service, database another service. 3 services are required. Can I click? Let me create. First, I want blob storage. And this is very flexible. You can also parallelly work. See, I'm creating it and I can parallelly work one more tab. If you want one more tab, you can add one more tab. You can add n number of tabs. Parallelly, you can do the development. Parallelly, you can install it. If installation in your on-premise until one installation complete, second will not work. So you have to wait until the first installation done. Here, simple. You want to create, just fill like a form. What you want to create. I want to create storage account. So I have a project. Do you want to create a project? Yes, I want to create Azure demo resource group or a project. In that, I want to create Azure storage account. Okay. What sort of storage, physical storage you want to store? There are different locations, different data center. I told you. You are acting like a virtually, but physically, somewhere it is storing the data. That data center you have to select. East US, India, wherever you want, you can select. So, sir, how we select this one, what criteria we select, that all we'll discuss in regular class, okay? So, I want just blob storage, not the data lake, but I can still create the data lake also if you required. And there is a local redundancy, backups are there. You no need to worry if something is happened to the data center, East US location, something, whatever the reason it has happened, still you can get the data through backup. Okay, let's parallelly work on database also. So to install the database, you have to create a SQL server in on-premises. And there are a lot of big step-by-step you have to do. But here, very simple in cloud. Click on create. Click on create. Parallelly, I'll create data factory also to develop. And let's create a database. Very simple. So it started development, started deployment. And what is happening, how it is happening, you don't need to worry. You just need to monitor through notification. Whether it's a deployment success, fail, reason, everything through notification only. What is happening backend, who is taking caring about that? You don't need to worry about that. That is not our headache. Okay. So it is created. So this is my Azure storage account is ready. your application start filling the data here in the blob service. So the different type of services we have. I want now storage is blob.
Sorry,
So I'm creating
is
here container, data logs container. Here we have data logs, one folder I'm creating where I can get the application data here. And parallel, I'll create the blobs, this Azure SQL also. My database name is Azure SQL database. Under which server? Under VNetTech SQL server. And physically where you are installing? Generally, you install your softwares in C drives, right? Here I'm installing in particular location. All right, let's see here. I'm giving user ID and password to connect with that user ID and password. So don't worry, guys. I'm going to explain each and every component options one by one, just to show you practically how it works in cloud. I'm quickly creating it. Okay. So database is ready, servers is ready, whether you want development server, production server. What is that? Production development. Configuration will change. Configurations, it will change when you select development high configurations. Sorry, the production high configuration, development less configurations. Premium, non-premium. So here, how much GB of data you want? 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB, 250 GB. No, you just want 30 GB. And tomorrow, I told you in the last demo, if you have a 250 GB and suddenly you want to increase in on-premises, it is very tough. But here, based on my data size volume, I can change accordingly. If today I selected 30 GB, if I am not getting transactions, I'll decrease it. Scale in and scale down. Sir, how it will done? After creating, we have an option. Now I'm selecting basic. I can select. Do you see any cost is changing if I select 250? The cost will not change. Even if I select high cost also, it will not change. The reason because if you purchase laptop, generally what you see in the laptop, what sort of configurations? RAM, core processor, the hard disk, and in hard disk also what sort of hard disk is, whether it's a SSD drive or is a HDD drive, solid state drive. This is what you generally think. If you take 500 GB, some level of costing. If you take 1 TB, that is not that difference you. If you select your core processor is four core processors, and if you try to increase more 2 core or 4 processor, the cost is completely different because you are trying to increase the performance of that system. Here also, each services will measure by some units. If you increase the performance, cost is multiplying, you see. If I increase here, the cost is multiplying it. That is what we call performance, because we are not physical involvement here. No physical RAM, no physical disk, no physical system is installed here. How I am going to know how the performance is calculated in a cloud? So there are some units we have for each services. Okay. What is that? Going further, we'll discuss that. So just apply 1 GB of disk and in the local redundancy backup, review and create. Estimation cost is 400 rupees. That is per month, not immediately it will charge. And you can calculate by 30 days by using how much query you are firing it. Now let's create the data factory. So this is very, very important tool and very useful tool in terms of data analysis. Okay, in the same project, this is my test ADF version 2. What is version 1? What is version 2? What is a GitHub? What is a DevOps? This completely we'll discuss in coming classes. So for now, we don't require all these options. Let's simply create. Okay. Everything through notifications. Can we see this one? Tab. This is also getting deployed. No problem. My data log storage account is ready. Data container folder is ready. Can I upload some file? Yes, you can upload a file, like how you upload in your Google Drive, how you're going to give access to someone. The same thing you can do here also. So I want to upload some practical files. So this is file I want to upload. Upload it. You want to share with someone? Yes, you can give an access to someone. How you give access in Google Drive? Here also, this is a drive. Okay, this is what the data we have. So this data I'm loading in my table, and then I'm going to analyze. Data factory is also ready. Let's see how to load the data now. So launch the studio. That is a development studio. Here we're going to develop. So completely in a cloud. I'm not touching, I'm not installing anything in the on-premises. I'll extract the data, I'll verify the data, I will load the data, everything in the portal. Yes, sir, I'm not flexible with the cloud. Some sort of service I might required in on-premises, that also we can do that. Okay, how to do that? I'll tell you in the regular class. So only three things you need to understand. One is author, monitor, connections. Your entire data factory is completed. These three modules. In this module, there are a lot of things are there. In data factory, only development. What you develop, you require connections. What you develop for that, you have a monitor to automate. Development, automation, connections. 3 tab only. Okay. So let's develop first. So what is this? Different tabs we have. I'm going to develop one data pipeline. New pipeline. This pipeline is about what it's going to do. This pipeline is about to load the data from one of the Azure Blob Storage to Azure SQL account. This is what my pipeline name. And what you want to do, I want to copy the data from the blob to structure format. So I'll take one of the activity I want to perform, copy data activity. Just you need to configure it. You have to configure it. How to configure it? For that, there is a source you have to tell. We know our source is a blob storage, right? Where is the picture? Source is a blob storage. Destination or sink is this one. By using the tool called Data Factory Data Pipeline we created, which extract the data, which loads the data. So I have to tell, I want to tell that my source, now you can see the new. So this is what I'm talking about from last class. So there are a lot of sources, many sources are there in your data factory. Wherever your data is hosted, we can extract those data from a different platform, and we can extract those data and load wherever you required. But just you require access. If I want from Snowflake, I want access. If I want the data from the Sybase, I want access. If I want the data from the cloud, I want the cloud sources. So where is my data right now? It is in the blob. I'll just search your blob. Click here. What sort of format that file is? Delimiter format, CSV format, continue. I'm going to give a name called source blob dataset. There is no connection. I'll create a connection. Don't worry, I'll tell you all these things. What is a connection, key wallet, access keys, everything I'll tell you. So right now I'm creating direct connections. Under that, you remember I created one data log folder. Data log I created one data log. Inside there is a file. So here also you have to select data log and the file. Click continue. That's it. All your data source configuration is done. You can preview the data if you required. This is what the data is coming. And where is your target? Target is my table. Can I go and see table? Table is created. We don't have table. No problem. You can create runtime. If you don't know table, how to create. If you know, well and good. If you don't know, still we can create at runtime. So I'll show you how to create table at runtime or manual. It is completely depend upon your requirement. Okay. Let's see what happened is my internet is slow. So here I can create a table. So how to create table? Generally we SQL Server tables we connect to which tool to write a SQL statement? Anyone know? In on-premises or in your computer, in your laptop, to write a SQL queries, which tool we use? Which platform tool we use?
SSMS.
SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, or there is a Azure Studio, or there is other platform. But constantly we use SSMS, which is given by Microsoft product. So this is a place, SQL Server Management Studio. Here we write a query. We're going to connect to the Azure server from on-premises. We can write a query. Sir, I don't have knowledge about this one. I don't know this tool. Can you please explain in the cloud? Yes. You don't want this, no issues. You want me to apply in cloud? I'll apply in the cloud. Let's see what happened. It is taking time. Can we refresh again? So let's refresh again. My databases. Where is my database? Azure database. Azure database. How much GB of storage I'm occupied here? See. How much GB I'm using it? How much GB of data? Can we see here? So this is something called, I'm trying to access from on-premises. So I need to give my authorization. So that is why I selected network. What is that? I'll tell you, don't worry. But right now, you see there is a monitor tab. How much GB we occupied? 1 GB. Because while creating 1 GB we here, you want to increase, immediately you can increase. Scale in and scale down. In the compute and storage, you want to change password, change the password. You want to increase to 100 GB, increase 100 GB, is up to you. So how you want to manage it. I want to increase to 2 GB. I'll simply click on apply. It is scaling to 2 GB. Can you see the monitor tab again? See the monitor tab again, how much? 2 GB is increased. Can we connect in my local? What is my server name? This is my server name. Can I copy? Can I connect in my local system? Now this is my database. I want to connect my server name, my user. If you remember, I given user ID while creating it, and password also I provided it. See, it is connecting easily. You want to practice on this one because there are a lot of features we have. You can practice. No, sir, I want to do in the cloud. Yes, you can do in the cloud also. It's up to you. It is completely on basis on your requirement. Okay, so let's see the how to create it. So what I'll do, I'll create a basic table. Okay, we know how to create basic table, right? So how to create basic table? Create table, create table, some customer information or customer details. So what we require customer details? So customer ID, customer name, and customer amount, and customer is belong from which country, and any other for details you want, you can add it. That's it. So I created one table. I can see customer details. No data. Do you want me to connect in the cloud? Yes, I'll show you in the cloud also. So there is a left-hand side, there is a query editor. Can I connect here? User ID already given. I'll give password. You remember I just created a table? Can we see here? Yes, you can. My voice is audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought it is some internet issue. Okay, all right. So you can see there's one table I created just now. That table, I'm using it, customer details. You can run, but you can don't see a lot of features, a lot of options that you have in on-premises tool. Maybe it is in preview. You can see it is in preview. You'll get some updates, new updates. Don't worry, you'll get a new update. So now what we need to do, we need to load the data in this tables. This is what our work is. So we created a file is available. This is ready. This is ready. Let's start the data injection into this one. Load the data. Yes. Let me create my target. Click on new. Click on new. What is your database? What sort of database? This is my Azure SQL database. Okay. The employee table. Where is my table? My table is under one of the service called subscription called pay as you go subscription. Under that one server, Vinetex SQL Server, database Azure database. Username is Vinetex SQL Server is a username, and there is a password called password. Test the connection. Password is correct or not. I'm testing it, and then I'm creating it. I'm connected to the server. Now I need to select the table. Very simple. Click OK. Your target is also ready. Do you want to see data? Do we have any option to preview? No, not a problem. Or you want to create auto option? There is auto create table is the option. I want to do insert. I want to do insert operations. And source columns are different. That is what your table is having customer ID, but from source what you are getting? Employee ID. In the table you have customer name, here you have employee name. In your table you have a customer amount, here you have a salary. Country is mapped because same names. So this is we call mappings. Done. Can we run this process? I'm going to give this name is blob to Azure SQL table. Very simple. I'm going to run now. So I'm going to run now so that it will load the data. It will start loading the data from here. It will fetch whatever the data is there on daily basis. You no need to do manual work, which I did in the Excel. So it will fetch the data, and you can same format, whatever I did in the Excel. Where is that Excel? The same data. Now I'm going to write very simple query. If I know basic SQL, I'm going to write, what is that? Country, sum of the customer amount as revenue, then count of, what is that? CID, EID, discounts, then group by name. Very simple. First, let me see whether it is executed. Yes, it is executed, showing the tick color, green color. Do you want to see picture? See here. Details. Reading the data from the blob. How many records are loaded? One file was there. There is 100 of files. Can you do in Excel? One file is okay, sir. I can do still. The whole day is also there. I will do in manually. If I give 100 files, what you do? Will you do it in the per day? Not possible. If I give 200 files, not possible. So this is what this tool will work. Right now you picked only one file. I can pick like n number of files like that. N number of files. I'll prepare that and I'll create one data pipeline. This is what the ETL developer will make it easy process. If I give 100 file, you will take 100 days to do that. So it is very in 1 hour of time I'll develop. So how many records are processed from one file? 37 records. Can I see 37 records? Data got filled, 37 records. Now your summary data you want, aggregate data, you can see and compare the same data which you see in the Excel pivot table. Here with the manual work, with this is automation work. Sorry, this is also got some. Let me put this in counts. What changed? This is my automation process. This is my manual work, and you can decide how you want to work. And you want to connect? No, sir, this is not looking good. I want to do reporting also automation. Yes, you can do the visualizations, different visualizations, automations, connections. Do you have Power BI? Yes, let's see. I have desktop Power BI. Desktop Power BI. Last, what we can do, we can present in different format. They want mobile, they want desktop, they want tablet, they want others format. We can design it. I cannot design in my Excel that format. This is also one of the automation process. But it is last process. Serving the data, these people will do. The challenges is here. Getting the data, performing transformation, making and understanding data. Once you give a proper information, this picture will come. Otherwise, this picture will not come. Even it is not a big task for us to do as a ETL developer, we can do the reporting also. But reporting developer can't do the ETL work. That is what right now the requirement is. Any company you go, any job you go, first, even though you are ETL developer, the report developer, first they will ask you whether you have a knowledge in ETL or not. Nowadays in India, all requirements are same. Power BI developers are any report developer. I'm not targeting only Power BI. Any SSRS, Cognos, Tableau, Power BI. Any report developer must have knowledge on ETL. Okay, so let's see how to do that in my Power BI desktop. The same design pie chart, a chart, whatever the chart is there, dashboard reports are there. Everything I'll design in my automation tool. So you are just learning about the tool, how it works, when to use, how to use. This is what we're going to discuss in regular classes, but prerequisite is basic SQL is required. Okay, so blank report, what you want to do? Where is your data? My data is in the cloud. Can I run the same query which I am running here? I'll copy this query. I'll run in the cloud also. I'll see the result. See, same data. So what is where is your data? The data connection is, my server connection is this one. Because in Power BI, it will ask you, where is your data? You have to tell your data is in the cloud. So here is my cloud connection. Let me copy the clipboard. Copy the clipboard. Why it is not getting copied? Let me copy. Okay. So now it will your Power BI ask, where is your data? Now I'm going to do get the data from more sources. From the more sources, Power BI is just a reporting tool. It is not a ETL tool, guys. If you feel that I'm loading the data, I'm not loading the data. I'm just saving my data in Power BI so that I can present my report with that data. You cannot say this is a ETL tool. It is not a ETL tool, first of all. Okay, my data is in the Azure. It is in database. I'll click on connect because I want to get the data. Then only I can present in the reports. That is why I'm getting the data. So you cannot say that is extracting the data. Yes, extracting only for the report presenting, not for the loading anywhere. Okay, so get the data. From where you want to get the data, provide the server name, click OK. Click OK. If they ask you the credentials, provide a credentials, not a problem. Username, password. Or I'm going to use already these connections. So it may or it may not ask me the same server name. Okay, I have given a lot of time the password. So it may ask, it may not ask. So no worry, you can directly get that table. Okay, let's see here. So this is my data. This is my server under which we have one table only. One table only, that is under one database. Under that, there is one table called customer details. Check the button and load. Load is nothing but we know we are not loading anywhere. Don't think that load and transform is ETL. We just loading for the reporting use. And do you want to remove this like null values or you want to restrict? So that time we use like a transform. Unwanted data we are removing. For not loading, for your reporting use only. Okay. Click load. That will save in your Power BI up to 1 GB or 2 GB. Data you can store and you can present this data on the fly. So what sort of graph you want? Let's suppose I want to go with a pie chart. Can we apply? Let's see. So your work is not yet done. After development, your challenges will come now. The main work will start after development. The data issues. Now these people simply put on ETL development. How they will keep? They simply, in case of data, some issues are there, they'll simply route these issues to us. So now you can see there's 37 records are there. Early morning, I saw there is a 37 record was refreshed. Okay. So I am showing the report to the client. I'm showing this report to the client. I think I need to restart my system. It's taking very slow. Okay. So this data, I want to show country wise their salaries. Country wise salaries. And also in the funnel chart, I want to display the counts. I can make multiple graphs. But if you put in Excel, it completely will get gone. See, number of counts, 12 counts, 10 counts, 9 counts. The occupied, how much it is occupied. How much it is occupied. Now suddenly what happened? Someone from your junior, he was started again. 37 record is already loaded, but he don't know he started again the job. What will happen? It may get duplicate, 37 plus 37 records. the revenue will show in the by afternoon or evening, the revenue got changed. It's supposed to change next day, but due to multiple times was executed, the package data loading, package and data loading. If the user will come again in this report, he will refresh simply. Click on refresh. What happened? Your data is completely will change. As business team will see, what is this difference? 24, 20, 18, you can see the data is got changed completely. Earlier 12 was there, earlier 10 was there in morning. So this is a completely duplicate data for that particular day. So even we need to handle such kind of loading templates. So there are different loading templates. We have full load, delta load, incremental load, by using SCD, by using CDC, by using lookup, by using other method, we have to handle. So even though they run multiple times, it should not get data duplication. So now what you will do, there is a 47 records are there. You will simply go and you will do the manual deletion. And you are not sure if the data is duplicate, then you will keeping some query, CT function, deleting the records. And there may be a chance of some other also data will get deleted until unless you are sure in your query. But right now we are not expertise in the SQL queries. If you are good at SQL, you can do exactly 37 records, you will remove that. If you are good at SQL. So that is what I'm saying. SQL is very important in real time. Not only the Azure BI is also help you for your any sort of tool. You go anywhere, any trainer will tell you later. But this is very, very important in terms of serving in the company. Basic SQL is required. I'm not asking you to write a lengthy programming, but basic SQL is very, very important for you. So otherwise we can handle in the ETL itself. If you good knowledge in the ETL, we can handle here only. So before loading the data, I'll simply put a delete statement. Whenever it starts the data loading, this is one of the process called full load process. Now any user come and run anytime. Any user come and run 100 times also, there is no change in the data until there is a change in the source. This is what one of the process we call as full load process. This is a full load process we call. Got it? Can we see here? Now I'll ask my ETL development. Sorry, I ask the client to just go and refresh. Nothing you need to do. It will come in the original position, whatever the data you have in the morning. Can we see now? Let's see. Let's wait for to get refresh. It got changed. 12, 10, 9, 6. Data reduced from 24 to 22, 18. This is what one of the process, nothing but a full load process. We're going to work. Okay. Got it? So like this, we have different templates. Different templates we're going to do in a regular class practically. One of the template which I've just shown you, one of the case study which I've shown you is like loading the data from blob to SQL Server. Then they will ask you the reverse method. Then blob to blob, blob to data lake, data lake to data lake, data lake to SQL. These all case studies we're going to work in regular classes. So if you know some basic things, you can next time, you whatever the sources they give your company, you are a capability to do that. So I'm going to teach only the practically rather than giving a definitions. Okay. So we more focus on towards the practical. Nobody will ask you the definitions in the interview call. In interview, please tell me the process. He will tell you process. He will explain you the step-by-step method. In BA, nobody will ask the definition. What is blob store? You can tell orally. So they will simply ask you process, the method, the connections. All right. Fine. Any questions, any doubts so far here?